I find that entrepreneurship can be so lonely. There is a very specific type of loneliness, especially if your friends aren't entrepreneurs. And if you're in the health and wellness space, like we all are, it gets more and more isolating because there's just fewer of us, right? I feel like sometimes loneliness is like the real epidemic in entrepreneurship that no one is really talking about. There are health business tips I can give. There's all those things I can do. And I am going to give you guys some actionable things to do today. But not having resources or people to talk to or anyone to share your experiences with can kind of change. It's like you don't have coworkers. You've got patients, you've got clients, you've got staff. You may even have like a spouse or a partner or somebody at home. But at the end of the day, every decision, every payroll run, every risk, every decision is on your ability to heal somebody. It's all on you. It sits on your shoulders. It can feel heavy after closing your clinic or closing your health business and you just sat in your car and you're just like, oh my God, how did it get this hard? And who can I talk to about it? One of my not shining moments was I had been running the gym at a loss. I was just so sad with where I was. On the outside, it looked great because it was big. We had a lot of following. Inside, I just felt like actual shit. I sat in front of the gym and cried because I didn't want to go in and face what I needed to face as a manager, as an operator, as a CEO, as a boss. I wasn't even like healthy in my mind and body. And again, I couldn't talk to anybody about it. I guess therapy, yeah, but it wasn't like part of my day-to-day conversations where somebody would really understand, like, Lauren, oh my God, I understand the stress that you're under trying to teach classes at 5 a.m. and you can't even feed your kid. I could not breastfeed because of the amount of stress that I was putting my body under so soon after having my baby. If anybody ever feels like they're being swallowed in their business or they feel like they're alone, I want you to flag this episode. Because just as I just shared that personal moment with you about the loneliness, feeling of isolation, of not feeling like my husband could be there for me, or maybe even my business partner could be there for me, it creates emotional distance that you don't even realize that you are surrounding yourself with. It's like this boundary that you energetically create that it doesn't help you heal, it doesn't help you make progress, it doesn't help you understand your clients or your team better at all. It's the opposite. It'll make you feel bitter. It'll make you feel burned out. It'll make you feel even more lonely and sometimes other emotions like depression, anxiety, like all the things, right? Let's break it down into like 3 major categories, okay? Category 1, decision loneliness. Because you alone usually are the decision maker, especially if you're still doing the most in your business. Oh my God, that feeling where you alone decide the pricing, the hiring, what to pay people, what's our marketing special gonna be, all because you're choosing to keep yourself in this bubble and not delegating. And here you are just trying to do things on your own when you know full well that you have a team. Or if you don't, you know that you need to get the proper team so you can make the decisions that you need to make and start, setting your business up for growth and for scale. Okay. So that's decision loneliness, right? The second part, this is huge, y'all, in health business. Emotional loneliness. When your clients and patients dump on you and you don't have a place to like dump that energy off, you're not getting your Reiki, you're not going and talk to your therapist, you're not actually like getting that zhuzh off of you before you end your day. I have examples from everything. I'm big on like sharing personal experience. That's the point of the platform. When I was like in my training days, I was working out women who had gained weight from babies that were miscarried or stillborn. Do you know what that's like? Seeing that mom who still has that pregnancy like look and body, but actually no baby that came from the shape and body that she has. Yo, I have worked with people with emotional eating disorders who would be eating in their closet at night. I didn't know what to do with that. Folks working through death, working through divorces. I know all too well my own clients in my own marketing agency, working with them as they're dealing with loss and with death and with aging parents and their clients dumping all of their emotional stuff on them. Who do you dump on? Because there's no way for you to be that like premium, epic healer and boss that you need to be if you are holding on to this chasm of energy. So that becomes, again, extremely lonely and isolating and to where you feel like you can't talk to anybody. And that can also stagnate you in your business because it brings you down because you're not showing up as your best self. Because maybe you're like, I don't want to see any patients for a little bit because I am just full. I can't take on anymore. Functional medicine doctors, I know you guys go deep. You're weaving the story together. You're like putting together this blueprint to help somebody heal. That's a lot. Chronic illness experts, folks that have been dealing with brain fog and with Lyme and with autoimmune and with all this stuff for years. They've been depressed and they put that on you. Where do you go? Who do you run to? And then the third one, vision loneliness. You're an entrepreneur. You're in this thing. Sometimes it can feel alone. If your dreams feel too big to explain to your family and friends, that means that you're not feeling empowered about your own vision. If you want to be able to share that you want to make, instead of $100,000 a month, you want to make $500,000 a month, you want to do this in 2 years, and you want to be able to share that without judgment, without even feeling like you're sharing something private, without people like looking, is she really going to do it? It's hard sometimes to share the things that you want to do to grow if the others around you aren't in that space, especially your employees that you're paying. But let's reframe it. Like, loneliness doesn't mean that you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're this crab in a barrel that's just like, oh, I can't talk to him, I can't do anything. It just means you're pioneering. You're the trailblazer. You're the one that's walking the walk. You're the one that's creating this path, right? So here are some things I want you to do to fight that decision, emotional, and vision loneliness. I want you to do a weekly just CEO check-in with yourself. This is going to keep you grounded and give you data to reflect on. So I want you to, every single week, write down 3 wins, 3 worries, and 1 next move. And I want you to put this on your calendar as a weekly recurring invitation to yourself. You're saying yes to yourself. You're inviting yourself to be vulnerable with yourself, to check in with yourself on these specific areas. This, I promise you, will keep you grounded when you feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. Do a CEO check-in and then hop over to Facebook with me and tell me if it worked. Tell me what you discovered about yourself. Secondly, get an entrepreneurial ally. This could come in the form of a group of friends. It could come in the form of a mastermind. It could come in the form of you joining an organization. I mentor with several. Pinnacle Global Network is one that I mentor with. Mindshare, Health Business Growth Collective is another one that I mentor with. I personally have a group of coaches and other business owners that I talk to because it's easy for me to talk about money or like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm about to do this launch. I hope I make 50 grand. While some people may have never seen 50 grand a year, and I'm talking about trying to make it in an hour. And I don't want to feel like I have to mince my words or bite my tongue because you don't understand big vision. So where are your allies? Start there. Start with people that you can speak to on a consistent basis that understand what you're going through, that understand the life that you're living and the legacy that you're building. Don't just nod and keep it moving. Check in with yourself. Check in with your allies and your groups and your people that you can comfortably rely on. Reach out to one person who gets it and ask if maybe you can like swap 5 minutes on a Friday. I love doing these. I call them Zoom coffee chats, where I just reach out to one of my homies and I'm like, you know what you doing? Let's just check in. Maybe we can vent. Maybe we can rant to each other for a little bit. And getting a coach helps a lot. For the clients that I work with, we meet usually 1 or 2 times a month because they're not going to bottle up that shit. We talk about it all. Tell me about your husband. What he do that's kept you from writing the copy that you needed to write. Tell me why you're feeling flat or depressed right now because you haven't done one single thing for your marketing campaign. Tell me what's keeping you stuck. We can talk through it. And then the last thing I want you to do, I told you to do the CEO check-ins. Get yourself a group or an individual or an ally of some sort. Third thing, find the platforms to keep feeding positive energy to yourself. I'm big on self-care, going to Reiki, going to therapy, getting a massage. I'm big on that. And I'm also big on feeding myself with education and information that's going to keep my brain on track. So I listen to podcasts. I guys want you to subscribe to this podcast. Yes, share it with people. There's a lot of tidbits in here to let you know that you are not alone. That's the power move right there. Knowing when you need help, knowing when you're feeling like things aren't going in the right direction. I stayed stuck way too long, y'all. I stayed stuck for 10 years. I felt like I was alone for a long time. And as a result, my business did not flourish. I could have resolved all of that a long time ago. But there's a reason for everything, right? Because obviously if I hadn't made those mistakes, and I wouldn't be here talking with you today and having other successful endeavors. You know what your homework is, okay? So go ahead and hop to it. Stay on course. Keep going. I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And on Instagram at I am Lauren Powers. So this is it for this week's episode of Power Moves, y'all. I will see you next week. I'm out of here. Peace.